Right, it's still good morning, Anambra, and today happens to be a special day for us to co-present on today's episode of Good Morning, Anambra, where we are talking security. Remember, it's everybody's business, and we can never grow tired of telling you about security, especially now that we have newly, launched the Operation Udogaachi.
That was on the 18th of January.
Okay. What is the name? Agunechemba or whatever.
Yes.
So, and the Anambra need to really be in tune of what is going on concerning the security of lives and property in Anambra State. You're welcome to the show.
She talked about the launching of Operation Udogaachi, and then the signing into law of the new Anambra State law, Agunechemba.
Homeland Security
Yes,
law.
Homeland Security law. And today we want to talk about it. And who else can we call to talk about it other than our own Mazi Chukwuma Onyinye Okpalezu? He's currently the newly elected president of Ohaneze Worldwide, Anambra State chapter. And he is also currently the acting national youth leader of Ohaneze Worldwide. He used to be one of the propellers of security in Anambra State. I remember when he used to go to Onitsha, and then they had to.
I've seen him on the bridge. On the bridge
walking, and
yes.
when he sees you during that period, he won't even recognize you.
Yes.
He's no longer your friend. So coincidentally, we've called Chuma. He's a youth, and he has been in the forefront of making Anambra safe for long, and that's why we decided to bring you in. Congratulations, Mr. President of Anambra Ohaneze Ndibo.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome.
And I was talking to him about, this new look.
Seriously transforming to one prominent.
No, call him now our own dear Peter, don't you? Anyway, that's by the way.
Right.
Let's be serious now. For long, people have been actually asking for this. Let there be a homeland security law. I know in the past we've done this. During Peter B's era, we've had it and all those. But then we needed a more serious law that will be implemented. So, how do you see this law that was launched, on 18th?
Saturday.
Yes, on Saturday.
Yeah, thank you so much, ABS, the heartbeat of the nation. You guys have really sustained the tempo, and you deserve more commendation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah? Yes, the Anambra State Homeland Security Law is a square peg in a square hole due to the situation we found ourselves today, not just in Anambra nor Southeast, but as well in the entire country, Nigeria, which is insecurity. So the new law for Homeland Security is one of the effective responses of the state government under Professor Charles Soludo to tackle the menace of insecurity as Anambra got her fair share of the national insecurity. The law, to my understanding, because I took responsibility and studied. The local governments are involved, and the state serves as the central base for operations. I am certain that if Ndi Anambra, as we all have been yearning for a better security in the state, if we study this law and put heads together to ensure that it is implemented
to the latter,
I am certain that insecurity shall be a thing of the past, not just in Anambra, but in Southeast as well.
All right. You know, I said earlier that security is everybody's business. You know, there's this platform where I belong to, and there's this. I think we handled a similar thing on Monday. So after that, there's this debate on the platform. So I would want you to really talk about what communities need to understand about the new law and the security in place, because some people were still talking about AVG when they said the new law has the AVG have been repealed by the new law. Please.
Yes, Agunechemba as the new security outfit under the new Homeland Security Law has replaced AVG. Okay. In as much as it is also the responsibility of the police as the head of internal security to as well register and ensure that all private security companies are well documented. Agunechemba has replaced AVG, and we are looking forward, due to the structure as it is structured at the community level, at the lowest level of Agunechemba. There is what we call operations committee or unit. That is the lowest level of the Agunechemba security outfit, where it is meant to be so close to the people, where the PGs and the stakeholders in the community will form the next level, which is the management and finance committee. After that, there is another level of it, which is called the local government supervisory committee, before you now meet the Anambra State Supervisory Committee. Due to these echelons or strata of leadership in Agunechemba, our people are expected, number one, to study this law and understand it, to ensure that they do not fall prey or victim to it, because ignorance of law is never an excuse. And that is why we, the Ohanese Ndibo in Anambra State, has taken it upon ourselves to see it as our responsibility to enlighten, campaign, and engage our people that they will understand this law and also put all hands on deck to ensure that impact is maximized and people's served. Thank you.
Okay, you know, in this law, and even during Governor Soludo's speech on the day of the inauguration, that was on last Saturday, something actually played up where he talked about what ideologies, you know, these are ideologies, they have been subsumed into our beliefs and customs, you know. Do you understand? And they mix these things with culture. Now, I read something yesterday about somebody who was actually castigating Agunechemba, saying that the governor has actually shown that he doesn't like traditional religion, that he was bent on destroying traditional religion, that Agunechemba is meant to destroy traditional religion. So what's your thought on that? That you said a lot of our young people are going into what's it called, voodooism, monovoodooism and all these, and then this law condemns it and said, if you are doing this, that means you are a security risk. How do you see these insinuations?
Yes, I have also encountered and observed those insinuations, and that motivated us the more to ensure we do the needful of enlightenment and engagement for a better understanding and the acceptance of the law, that will ensure that the purpose of the law is served. People did not understand that clause 18 of the Homeland Security Law, where it dealt with the spiritual practices. The law said that about Okite, we know what is Okite. Okite is a kind of spiritual money making, whatever, and also is a wine of a thing that if you are found propagating, doing, or claiming to be making money in a way far away from the lawful means of making money, it becomes an offense. When the law spoke of if you are found putting juju inside the water, sacrifices, it referred to the section 1 of that clause. If you read the subsection 2 of the clause, you will see that everything said in that second subsection referred to the Okite in the first one. Governor Soludo, in my understanding of the law, did not impose any practice on any religion. He also spoke of the Christianity too. So he balanced it to show that what the law meant is to discourage our youths from laziness and hope for quick money that doesn't exist. There are so many people who believe that Ogwego or Okite is real. Many people who claim to be practicing it are doing other criminal activities underneath. Many of them are kidnappers. Many of them are armed robbers. But they are claiming many of them are dealing on hard drugs. But they continue to claim that it is Okite that gives them the money. It is affecting our society by way of derailing our young ones, giving them hopeless hope where there is no hope. But no, if they get involved and get to a point of no return, instead of retracing their steps, they will decide to continue and join the criminality.
Okay, already the state government has started because the herbal practice office that is under the deputy governor's office in Anambra State has put out an announcement telling us about collaboration with local government areas and that people should start registering immediately. That's by the way. But aren't you concerned that these people that are involved in this Okite syndrome are youths? What have you been able to do as a youth leader to make sure that these youths know that get rich quick syndrome is not actually a positive move?
Yes, we have been engaging our youths to what we called reformation through consciousness and participation. This is a way of reforming the mindset of our youths. For them to know, for them to be conscious of what they should do and what they are doing as well. If they are conscious of the fact that all these are, the more you look, the less you see, that in the end, what you anticipate will not come. It is more of the more you look, the less you see. It is not real. And we have ensured that they are aware of this, and we are encouraging them to start participating in things that we are certain are real, like agriculture, technology, and what have you. We are working on the mindset of our youth to start encouraging and recognizing values and culture other than get rich quick syndrome.
All right, now let's talk about the data collation part of the law, where community had to collect data of people that are living amongst them that are not from the place, and of course moving it to the local government, then from the local government to the state. That was actually part of the what do I call it? Some were in favor, some were not saying in favor of the same thing. There was an argument about it, and somebody that was not living in this climb, in fact, the guy lives in Canada, was saying a different thing altogether. So I would want you to clear that, as someone that has studied the law, let people understand the need for data collation, and it is done in civilized climes. Whenever you come in, they punch buttons and your name is there.
Actually, it is a welcome development. Time has come for such a data to play the vital role it has to play in our security. Such data collection is a way, number one, when it comes to the native doctors collecting the data of who is who and what who does, it is a way of supervising and inspecting what they do, not a way of stopping that form of religion. It is a way of supervising and inspecting what they practice. Believe you me, people don't do what you expect them to do. They only do what you inspect them to do. So we commend such initiative. The same role it plays with the native doctors is the same role it shall play in the communities, where you need to know your neighbors. The community needs to know all the strangers that are in the community.
Before now, we that grew up in the village, virtually everybody, because we go to one church, the same church, we go to the same stream, we go to the same market, virtually, but now strangers are now living amongst us.
And you wouldn't know if you are not conscious of this data collation and report gathering. So it is a welcome development for us to know who is next to us. Look at what happened in Kogi, where a young man butchered his alleged girlfriend. If you study the videos from that case, you will see that that bench used to butcher that young lady has been used before. And people are living around there. Therefore, it is possible that the young man has butchered so many ladies in that same room, and people around him does not know. So this law has come to address that aspect of insecurity, where people can live amongst us and be doing all sorts of things that we forbid, that doesn't encourage stability and security in our society.
Okay, now Mazi, this is an era of technology, AI, AI-powered surveillance, and the law actually said that they're going to use these things, and it's quite commendable. They are going to use even independent communication gadgets, like people using their gadgets to track as well. But do you think, how do you think this is going to actually help us? Because we've known that sometimes these AI, these trackers could fail.
Disappoint.
So what challenges do you think it's going to help us? And then if it can help, what challenges do you envision may come from there so that we'll know how to tackle them?
Actually, about technology is a necessity in the present day security. It serves as an enabler and a catalyst. It also enhances precision of operations. There is nothing in this life that doesn't have good and limited part of it. Technology, I know the usefulness and the advantage for a better society and a stable environment outweighs its limitations. It outweighs its disadvantages. But to be honest with you, the command and control center being established today to support the various efforts of the government to ensure absolute security of lives and property is one thing that we have lacked for so long, but now we have it. I cannot see any challenge that is going to come with the nature of the technology we have today in that control and command center. What I envisage and expect is that from now on, any kidnapping activity anywhere in Anambra State that is promptly reported shall be tracked within the shortest period of time to ensure that adequate response is meted to that incident. I cannot see, I am yet to identify the very few challenges that may come with it, other than fake news. People may use AI to create some images and start propagating it to make it look real. But I don't see that. I don't see such distraction.
That means any news should be subjected to confirmation.
Yes, all news must be subjected to verification and confirmation.
Now, you know, the Anambra are really expectant. This Agunechemba has been launched since Saturday last week, and there's been, you know, some people are complaining from some quarters that they are yet to see their vehicles, and some of us that comes to work very early. At least I leave my house sometimes after 5, sometimes to 6. You know, this week I don't think I've seen them. But yesterday I saw a vehicle, a Sienna vehicle, written AVG. And there are men inside the vehicle with black and red cloth or something. So I don't know what's the implication of this. You know, going by the law, the new law, you know, taking over, you know, over the old law of AVG.
Yes, I want to quickly give an instance of some vehicle we still see today that is written Willie is working.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that Willie Obiano is still working in Anambra.
Okay.
Today we have solution is here, but you will still see pockets of vehicles written.
But these are carrying, and the doors are open like it used to. They are on security operations.
I just want to learn.
Like
As the leadership of Ohaneze Ndigbo in Anambra State, that is committed to assisting the incumbent administration for a better society, we have verified, we have gone around to see for ourselves. Luckily for us, the day we came to meet the officers in charge of Agunechemba, we met all the local government chairmen, about 21 of them. Each of them are receiving vehicles going down to their local governments. Agunechemba is meant to be locally domesticated. It is not meant to be seen as the usual conventional police agencies. No, it is domesticated. The place you see them mostly is in the communities, where they work with the people to ensure precision and work in line with verifiable and reliable intelligence.
All right, at this point, I think we take a very short break. The program is Good Morning Anambra, and we are looking at Agunechemba, ensuring security in Anambra State. The program returns after now. Do join us again.
As for me, it's a quite good and good to our state number one, being His Excellency's Professor Choma Soludo, doing the initiative. Thank God it's spoken out at Ishiago as an observed on little positive effect of Udogaachi security. I see the good result of him on Monday at Ishiago, a positive result I've achieved there. It's a good initiative and a good innovation. Kudos to our state government and bravo to him.
It's a good movement, at least to checkmate all the how do I put it? It's very unfortunate for what's happening, especially in Anambra State, concerning security. And they cannot help or assistance the people who claim to be native doctors. There are still most of these Yahoo boys, some of these miscreants who parade themselves as what do you call it? They call it Okite. You see, they engineer most of these boys to continue with their illicit businesses, which is very bad to our society. And that has made the youth not to participate in any serious thing to help themselves.
It's a very good development in the Anambra State because there is a lot of insecurity, and many people were complaining that the governor of Anambra State is working a lot of things, infrastructures, but there is no security. And fully well know that the purpose of any governor of a state is security and property, to secure the life and the properties of the people. But this time around, there's a lot of problem in our state. But we thank God that the newly introduction of the security outfit is very good. We are commending the governor, and we also ask everybody, being an Anambarian, to also comply. Everybody's supposed to be security of himself, so that it is a welcome development.
I don't understand somebody who open a hotel. You see boys going up and down with their earrings, tattered hair, almost like they're walking on the streets, claiming to be Yahoo boys, doing nothing. Moving with the luxury cars, building houses without something reasonable doing. It's very unfortunate. So what the governor has done is very, very recommendable. It's very, very welcomed.
I think the governor is doing a very great job. Security is everyone's business. It's not only the security personnel. You watch their back, you give them information. With information, they can be able to secure us well, because they are not at times everywhere. You understand? So security is every man's business. We really need to help our security agents. And the one that Agunechemba initiated, we all really need to help them to work together to give us effective security. Thank you.
To the program, and remember that we were talking about Agunechemba, ensuring security in Anambra State, and here we have our second guest. He is Vince Onyekolo. Vince is the CEO, Vince Network Limited, a security risk strategist, corporate safety consultant, and a former British police officer. Vince, you're welcome to the program, and welcome to Talking Security in Anambra State.
Good morning, Divine.
You're welcome.
Yes. Before you came in, we talked about the launch of Agunechemba, which happened on the 18th of January 2025, and of course, the signing into law of our state law, the Homeland Security Law, and all these. And people we've had some mixed reactions. Some people who feel that that law is against them, and those who feel that it's for them. So, what's your impression about the law?
It is a fantastic law. It is a fantastic bill. Personally, I welcome such a bill because it shows the seriousness of the government of Anambra State to give us a more secured, safe, prosperous, and livable homeland. So from the security point of view, Anambra State needs such a bill. Anambra State needs such an operation, and it's a welcome idea. However, there are sections that looks very theoretical, and I want to see the practicability of this bill in place. So
it's like Vince is in my mind, because I'm just waiting for you to land, for me to ask that. Most times in Nigeria we have beautiful policies, we have beautiful laws, but the issue we have is on its implementation. As an expert, what ways do you think those involved with carrying out the activities, what they should do to see that this is sustaining?
One of the ways is who is going to monitor the monitor. Mm-hmm. Now, Agunechemba is a bill that has every legal opportunity to take actions. Now, who is going to monitor their activities to make sure they don't take excessive laws into their hands? Mm-hmm. Because, as you said, in Nigeria, people can now become overzealous, over anxious to deliver. Even though they have good intentions, their actions will not look professional. For example, when you arrest a criminal, just like I've seen this Agunechemba in action, and you tie their both hands and their both legs in their back like a ram or like a goat, for me, that is not professional. Such action must stop immediately. because even though you've arrested the person, no competent law of court of law has found the person guilty. For you to tie them like a Christmas goat or a Salah ram is not acceptable professionally. So theory, practice. In practice, that is wrong. That's number one. Number two, you see, this law is wonderful. I love it. I believe in it. People that are investors in Anambra State will love it. People in diaspora will love it. People from outside Anambra, Southeast will love it. Now let's come back to the people that reside in Anambra State. There are other parts of this law that is not in action. Example, extortion of Ndi Anambra in checkpoints across Anambra State. We need to see the governor of Anambra State, the government of Anambra State reduce, if not stop entirely, the illegal extortion of motorists on roads in Anambra State. I'm not saying there should be no roadblocks, there should be road checkpoints. That's part of the security architecture. But the idea of taking 50 naira from Ndokada to the keke, taking money, or seeing young boys that have been working all the years of their life, doing all kind of jobs, and now God bless them, they become successful. Once you see him with a Lexus Jeep, automatically becomes a criminal to you. And you ask them to give you hundred thousands of naira. I saw young boys being extorted across the Christmas season. The governor has to step in to stop this reckless extortion by all the whole security agencies. And in conclusion, it's also very important that as we monitor the monitor, so if anybody does wrong in this Agunechemba operations, where do we report them to? There must be an agency that we can say, these people abused me, they harassed me, they physically abused me. Who should I talk to? Or do they have any right to do as they wish? So it's very important. And in conclusion, this number 5112, I love it. Because off my head, I can cram that emergency number whereby you have to call to report any issue of crime in Anambra State. 5112. Then the national, you have the 112. But the mobile telephone number, it's not always easy to remember. I know it's 08002200008. It's not easy to remember. So I think there should be more marketability of this emergency phone numbers.
So you're talking about creating awareness through the media and some other, some other instruments that we could use to create awareness?
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's talk about incentives and amnesty for whistleblowers, because the law actually touched it, most times in Nigeria, government means well. Then some people who think they are smart will create their own survival, means of survival. And what I'm trying to say is, how can we ensure that whistleblowers are protected and that people who serve as whistleblowers are real whistleblowers and not people who want to destroy other people? Let's talk about that before we could announce this one.
Okay, whistleblowers can be shielded or protected by making sure that their identity is not disclosed. That is also the essence of the emergency number. And the team working in the control and command center, they are well trained that it is almost impossible to disclose the identity of a whistleblower unless the blower him or herself disclosed his or her identity. I want to make a little input on what my colleague here said concerning extortion at checkpoints. Believe you me, it requires mass action. What I mean by mass action is the motorists, our people, the citizens who are being extorted. If you get so close, you will understand that they are the people inducing that extortion. It is their will. It is they themselves, maybe because they are found wanting in one or two things that they should have done based on documentation or what they have in, or being in a hurry. There is no need why a police will stop you and keep you for a long time for you to lose your time. But most at times, because I speak of experience, most at times people don't have complete documents. People, they fell victim of one or two laws that will always make them to prefer giving police money. At times, they don't want the police to do their job.
Some people, remember that most checkpoints now, they don't even ask you to bring papers because they are used to the system. Everybody now files up, collect and go.
And they are doing it for them not to be checked, for them not to keep there for so long. I feel like me now, if I am coming to any checkpoint, by myself, I wind down all my windscreens,
front and back,
and engage them. I hardly give them money, but you see people giving them money. I don't think it's under duress, but my point is that this law, Agunechemba, this Homeland Security law, addressed such issues, didn't empower any member or operative of the Agunechemba to extort anybody. They are only empowered to do stop and search security checkpoints to enhance security and stability.
But I feel that a lot needs to be done for people to know the roles they will play, and then government will have to be strategic about it, because before now, even AVG started mounting roadblocks.
Is it for extortion?
Yes,
is it for extortion?
Yes.
No, the roadblock is specifically for extortion.
They were asking for money. Yes, we had reports of that, and then we also experienced it. So a lot needs to be done so that this law will be practicalized.
All right.
1 minute. Let's learn from here. If they extort,
yes,
what do they? How do they? For what do they ask for money?
They just ask for money. That's
just ask for money.
They ask for money,
and people just give them.
And some people give, some don't. When they stopped me, I refused to give.
And they did what?
No, they left me. That's what I'm saying. That we need to be strategic about it. Like you, a member of Ohaneze, he is a security expert, and then I'm sure he's a community leader. How can communities synergize to make this law work? Because it's not just about passing law. Government can try to implement it, but it cannot work without us being a part of it. So how can we be intentional about making this law work?
Now, the intentionality of making this law work, a lot depends on the creators of the law and how they give life to the law and how they now orientate the people about the law. Now, the issue of illiteracy is very huge in Nigeria. Okay, now most motorists, for example, if we're talking about extortion, for example, remember I did not mention any particular security agency. I said all security agencies. I did not mention any particular one, because I have to be very careful with this. Now, most security motorists, many of them, the keke drivers, the shuttle drivers, the Ekulobia bus drivers, Onitsha bus drivers, Enugu, many of them are not educated. So when they see men in uniform carrying firearms, and when they do, they approach you and they stick their hand inside your vehicle, it's easy of give. They're not asking you peppers. All they do, give.
Well, don't you have the ability to say, I don't want to
now
give?
What happens next? You don't want to give? Hey, packing. We are Nigerians. We are all motorists. They don't ask you for anything. Just say, give. Because when you say there's an offer and acceptance in law, when you stick your hand inside my vehicle and open your hand, it's give. If I don't go, hey, packing. When they now park you, they now start looking for reason to detain you. So that is wrong, that number one. Then about the intentionality of the law, I think it's a good intention. Politically, economically, socially, it's a good intention. However, we need to bring it down to the grassroots to have issues of when you misbehave in doing this law, there must be a punitive justice against you.
So who and who should be involved in this?
There should be, we can have the Nigerian police, or B, we can have the government to set up an agency to monitor the excesses. Look at the Akkodo man that used Akkodo once upon a time to break the legs of somebody who was found guilty. What happened to him? Under the carpet. Nothing was heard about it. Maybe he was disciplined privately. It shouldn't be that way. Look at what Mr. Ejiofor said. The IPOB barrister said, don't make this about politics. Very big statement. It shouldn't be about politics. And I believe Governor Osoludo is not making it about politics. I believe so. I believe that it's about making us have a livable homeland that is more profitable, that is more peaceful. In doing this, there are other low-cadre criminals, land grabbers in Anambra State. They have a strong association, a billionaire association, because they make so much money. We need to work on land, even though it's on the bill, but how do we practically deal with land grabbers whom we don't know their colors and
okay, another important thing here is just like you said, talked about whistleblowers before now. How do we now encourage in the Anambra? How do we encourage them to when they see something, they should come up to say something?
Whistleblowing in corporate governance, because Anambra is a corporation. What is the bill? What is the law on whistleblowing? Is there anything like that? Because there should be a kind of bill for whistleblowing. What you expect if you're a whistleblower, not just by word of mouth. What we promise to cover your identity. If your identity is being exposed, how do we change your life for you? Because overseas, obviously, if you have to give information to the security agencies and your ID is now exposed, we have a package. We can even take you overseas. Change your identity, give you a new life. What package do they have for such people? Nothing. So it's all about, if you see something, say, now if I see something and say something and booster happens, what do I get as a protection? Because your typical man who is a vulcanizer has information. Your typical man on the street who is a carpenter, who is an Ekeke man, knows who are criminals, but they are scared to speak. So you must have a whistleblowing package that is covered by law, that when you give us such information, if it goes wrong, this is what we can give to you to protect you and your family and give you a new brand life.
Mazi has not actually told us how communities can be involved in this.
Communities are involved by the nature of the organogram of this new security outfit. The law created 4 strata. One is the operations committee, the unit closest to the people, and it is being manned by the people of the community. The PG is the chairman. Stakeholders are members, and after them there is this management and finance committee. They manage it, they do the recruitment. It is about the people at that level before it comes to the local government, where we have local government supervisory committee to supervise them. Like he said, who monitors the monitor? These are the monitors of the monitors as well, before you now come to the state. This one thing that is peculiar about this law is that it is meant for the locals. It is not the normal white elephant tusk law that floats in the air. No, it is meant to get down to the grassroots, where if we as Ohaneze Ndigbo in Anambra, as we have planned to work in collaboration with ASATU to ensure that we take enlightenment and engagement down to the grassroots. If we do that and eventually the people gets to understand this law, number one, not to fall prey of it, and as well to play their individual responsibility. Government has responsibility. God has responsibility. We as individuals, we have responsibility. And it is when we understand this law well that we can play our individual responsibility. And with that, impact is maximized and purpose shall surely be served.
Okay. All right. Now, this law is a collaboration, and the communities are supposed to must have started in earnest by collating names of foreigners living amongst them. How do we go about it? Who should be there to see that communities have started and to encourage other communities that have not started to start? Because once the thing is launched, it's supposed to take effect, to start off immediately. So what happens?
This is where the power of communication and information comes on board. This is where, if Anambra has, I know we have a fantastic commissioner of information, who I trust is an experienced journalist, and this is where his role comes in place, or if we have any local orientation agency in Anambra State that can help in this information and communication, telling the communities about their response and give them even timelines.
They have information officers.
Yeah. Then timelines of, by now you should have done X, Y, Z. If you need help, call this number to get the resources and the materials you need. And also informing the foreigners, people from the north, from the northeast, from the southwest, that this is not a target or a negative threat on your person or persons, that it's more like how to even safeguard you better. You cannot drive this if you don't have proactive communication and information about this. For example, there is a clip on the Twitter handle of Anambra State government about a certain criminal called Ashavin that was killed. And you can say, Ashavin, I told you I'm going to kill you. And you see the man still there on the floor, gasping for air, dying, and there's no medical help, with his limbs chopped off with cutlass or something. And he was still gasping for air. No medical help. We cannot resort to barbarism in doing this kind of operations. Number two, this clip, there's now an accusation against Anambra State government that this guy was not killed in Anambra State, that he was killed in Imo State. And there is no response to that to say, all right, this happened in Imo State, not in Anambra State. To kill it off, you allowed it. Before I land, in the Anambra, what happened this month in Anambra about the EFCC operation that went wild in Anambra State, and an officer was killed, one was injured. We have a stake too, because it happened in Anambra State. If there is anything like an EFC mandate that says you cannot do sting operations in the middle of the night, if there is such letter, then they shouldn't be doing such operations sting in Anambra State when there's a law by them saying do not do it. And also, as in the Anambra, we have to be seen to protecting our youth. I'm against 419. I'm against Yahoo. But you don't see every young, promising young man in Anambra State and just label him a Yahoo. Because you come to my house, you see 3 laptops, and you think I'm a Yahoo. So we need to actually fight to protect the image of our youth who are being given a negative image because of their stress. Some of them are washing plates in Germany. Some of them are doing all sorts of back jobs overseas.
So that can be done through awareness.
Through awareness in the same Agunechemba operation. You cannot exclude this and include this. You have to be an all holistic.
And you're also advocating that we should reduce barbarism and not, display barbarism.
100%. Barbarism has no place in national security.
Okay, thank you. Before we go, what do we watch out for to know that Agunechemba, Homeland Security Law, they are actually working for Anambra State from now to the next 6 months? Matt?
We shall expect a drastic reduction in the rates of crimes such as kidnapping, armed robbery, and etc. We shall also expect that the people shall come together and take individual responsibility that shall result to mass action, which will demonstrate the fact that security is everybody's business. And between now and 6 months, Anambra is expected to be the safest state in Nigeria.
All right. Thank you so much for being here. Actually, I'm really enjoying this program, but time is no longer on our hands. We thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming to the program. We've had Vince Onyekwelo, former British police officer and as a consultant in security. Thank you so much, Vince, for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you also, Chukuma, as a
Mazi
Chukuma Obalezu. You are the current acting national youth leader of Ohaneze Ndibo worldwide. Thank
Don't
you
forget
so
the
much.
new post.
He's every. Thank you so much, Kuma, for coming. Thank you.
I'm glad.
You.
I'm grateful.
All right.
Anambra, you've all seen that security is in our hands. Let government do theirs and then we'll do ours, and then let's expect this synergized realization of being the safest state in Anambra. We can do it together.
All is possible with us when we believe we can achieve. My name is Nonya Mokoye, and it's bye for now.
My name is Ifi Unachuku. Please stand by for our sports program and our sports splash. We'll be right back.